Hello and welcome to NewFilmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo. We're here at the South Park Center. I'm delighted to be joined with Jasmine with her movie coming out. Let's take a look at the clip.
So where'd you?
Well, my bad.
No, like you. How about we play Two Truths and a Lie?
Oh, okay, yeah, nice. Two truths and a lie. Can you go first?
Okay. I have been to every con.
Jasmine, welcome to NewFilmmakers LA.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing your wonderful film. I loved it so much. I've got so many questions. For those that haven't seen it, tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. Okay, so Coming Out is my take on a rom-com. It is a bi girl who, because she likes both men and women, decides it would be easier if she only liked men. And so she goes on a dating app, has a one-night stand with a guy, she hopes to have a one-night stand with a guy, but the guy she matches with happens to be struggling with his own issues. He premature ejaculates and is also coming into the night wanting to have hot sex and last through it. And neither one of those two things happen for either of them, but it ends up being quite okay because what starts out as a very awkward night becomes something very sweet and cathartic for both of them.
It's a great synopsis, isn't it? I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, honestly, and it's the coming out story I've not seen before, which was even more magical. No, really, really fantastic idea. Really, really funny. I told you last night at the festival, I was like, I'm so awkward. I shouldn't be in the room right now watching this. I feel too close to them. No, really, really brilliant idea. Where did this kind of idea story unravel itself and oh, I've got to make this into a...
Yeah, I also am an incredibly awkward individual, and even more so was so awkward when I was younger and still trying to figure myself out. So this is something that happened to me in my early 20s. The concept seems kind of absurd to say out loud. It feels like something that is made up, but it's actually not made up. It's kind of one of those things that you can only do when it's based on real life. And so I had a night that was not nearly as cathartic as I made it. Unfortunately, I think you can kind of tell in the short, even though I take a humorous approach, there is pain and there is this big question about both of their identities and how do they navigate the world, feeling like they're very different from what is quote unquote the norm. But what is the norm, So yeah, that was based off of a feeling that I had as a bi girl in my early 20s, just doing all of the things wrong, although wrong again in quotation marks, because I think we need to go through some of those kind of more awkward, wonky moments to become who you're supposed to be. So ended up making a film about it.
It's amazing. I love it. I love being around someone that also feels fairly awkward in this world as well. But you did such a fantastic job. It was so wonderfully visual. I always love when you watch something I'm already in love with these characters already. I already wanted to go on this journey wherever you were taking us, as uncomfortable as it was to be in the room with them. But no, really, really great delivery. And again, I love how you kind of mix this. Obviously, so many very comedic nuances and moments that were in there. But then there's also a kind of a depth of a story here that they're both kind of going through individually, and then brings them into this conversations together. How was it? I mean, what I loved about what you said last night is just about the experience that you all had on set. But how was it firstly bringing this cast together, and what was this experience like directing it as well?
So the cast was both easy and tricky, and I'll explain why. So I did have a small amount of interviews, but I kind of had known who I wanted to cast for everyone except for our lead male. The girl who plays Alicia, sorry. The woman who plays Kennedy, whose name is Alicia, she's amazing. She's so funny. She's so charming. Just very quick, also very funny and so kind, on set. But I had seen her She had been on a few shows. She's on a show right now called Bel Air, which is the reboot of The Fresh Prince of Bel Air. She also was on the reboot of Saved by the Bell, and has been in a few things. So I had seen her work, and she instantly was the person I was like, she is Kennedy, like, you know. But when do you ever get the first actor that you go out to? But it just so happened that she read it and completely got the character. We had a Zoom and we talked for like an hour and a half. I was late to another meeting after it, and she just like, she completely understood the character, completely understood the themes, understood the other characters, you know, and so it very quickly, that was so easy.
Amazing.
Our male, that was very tricky. Unfortunately, had some trouble getting young male actors to play this role because they didn't want to play a part where they played a character who prematurely ejaculated. They didn't want, even though it's acting, they didn't want to be associated with that. And I happen to have seen Cameron, who plays my male lead, Kofi. I saw him in a short film, and I had offered the role to a few people, saw him in a short film, and he was very good, very sweet, very natural, very like heartfelt. And I was like, you know, let me see if maybe he would be into this. And so we sent him the material, and he completely got it. And he was cast like 4 days before we were supposed to shoot.
Oh wow!
So
you stepped right in.
so yeah. So I'm so glad that I ended up seeing that short, because
Isn't it great how you found the first person, but then also you saw something, and then that brought them together? I mean, it's amazing how that's a great way you brought your cast together. Yeah, amazing. And yeah, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think and again, leading into that, you were saying last night about just how this was like the fun that you had, and I just love the fact you all became big kids as well, making this. Like, how was it? You've got to have fun making this film, like, otherwise what are you doing, right?
You have to have fun. And everybody had fun, not just the cast, but the crew as well. And yeah, we're all 12 years old, and we're making like, you know, a pseudo-sex comedy. And everyone's just like laughing and giggling, and, you know, the awkward moments, like there was a time on set, this was so awkward, but everybody just like was laughing so much. I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't seen it, but I will spoil it. There is a part, hence the log line that I said, where the male does premature ejaculate. And I was trying to figure out what is an appropriate amount of liquid for our character to have in her hand. And I'm like, guys, I've been in a relationship with a woman for years. Somebody has to educate me. And everyone's just like laughing and giggling. No one wants to say anything. We're all just having like a great time. But also, I do legitimately need an answer. So things like that, where it was like, you know, the awkwardness of making that kind of a comedy, both we had fun with, but also everyone gets like kind of embarrassed, because we all, even though we're adults, we're all also 12.
And I love, because you obviously bring that vibration with all the team that you bring together as a director as well. That must have been a fun process, obviously. What was your kind of like process like directing it? I mean, I really did love the look of the film, and I thought the kind of, especially like the way you closed in on people. I felt like I was there. It was like, oh, this is really awkward, and that was really clever. But how was your process as a director working through the film?
As a director, so I've made 3 shorts now, and they've all been different genres, but the through line for me, because everything that I tend to write about, at least right now, but I think even as I move forward, if I chose to direct something that I didn't write, it has to speak to some part of my identity, something that I went through. So it's all very personal, and I want the audience to feel like they're watching something incredibly personal. And my way of doing that is making you, like forcing you in a lot of ways to really be right there with the character. In some ways, I want you to feel like you're like in the room, which I'm glad you said yesterday, like, and you said today, I feel like I'm in the room with them, like I'm on this date as well. And that was one of the things that I talked about with like my DP and the actors is just like, how do we make this feel as awkward, sometimes heightened, but when we have the camera and we have these heightened moments, how do we make us feel like we're right there? We almost want to look away, but we're not allowed. You're not allowed. Like, you have to sit in it. And sometimes that is really funny. And then other times, you know, you feel for them. And then other times you feel incredibly awkward. And you know, it's all by design. But yeah, that tends to be my approach no matter the genre, is just wanting you to feel like you're with the character that you're going on a ride with. And for all of my shorts so far, there's been like one very, in this case two, but Kennedy is the lead of Coming Out, but one character that you're really going through their world and going through their emotions and wanting you to deeply feel in sometimes a way that you're like, this is almost too real, what they're going through.
No, we unlocked it, don't worry. We were all there, and that was a great way to really share the relationship with the audience, because we're all just right in there. Now this must have been really fun. Certainly we loved having a new filmmakers, but I love, because I was in the room at the time, listening to the audience actually react to it. Like, that's fun, because people are having a good time, right? Is that always fun for you, or how is that for you as a director?
Yeah, that is so much fun. So I mentioned that I have 3 shorts, all different genres. So the first short that I ever did is a psychological horror about mental health, and it gets fairly dark. And so that was my first experience watching something I had made with an audience, and it continues. It's still playing festivals, but it continues to be really brutal for me to watch, because it comes from such a deep, dark place, and people want to share very kind of sad stories, because it is a horror, it's psychological, but it also is about my own struggles with mental health, and so they want to share that too. And so I wanted to do like a 180. I was like, I want to be happy. I want to be happy when we're on set. I want to have like fun. Not that the other one wasn't fun. It was fun in a different way. I just want the experience to be different. And so Coming Out has been literally the 180 of that, where you're in the theater and and this is to Alicia, who plays Kennedy's credit. I mean, right from like the first frame, you're like on her face, dead center. She's looking directly into the lens, and she's funny from second number 2. And people are laughing right off the jump. And so it's just a different experience. It's so fun. And then the stories that people want to share afterwards are so funny. Really, really fun to have a comedy, and quite fun to get to hear people's awkward dating stories afterwards. So.
And it really does make a difference that you are sharing something through your personal journey, your lens, and then executing that through the film, because, you know, obviously it's really important you tell stories that you can really identify, and you can lead that vision forward for everybody, right? And you certainly did that with Coming Out. So where are we, like, apart? I know you got films in film festivals, including this, but where are you taking us next? Where are we going?
Ooh, you mean with Coming Out, or just like in general?
Coming Out next, I mean, all your next projects or stories and things like that you're looking to work on?
Yeah, I think that there's like more to be told with Coming Out.
There is.
It just feels like, you know, we leave them, at least I left them being like, I want to tell more of this story. Like, I love these characters. I want to be with them. I want to see where they go. I want to see how their friendship evolves, and I also want to see how their other dating stories go, because dating is awkward, and being in your early 20s is awkward as well. Like, you're supposed to be an adult, but you're also not an adult. You're kind of still mentally like a teenager, but you have so many more responsibilities, and you're just making so many mistakes, which is right for comedy. So I do have like a pilot version of Coming Out. I would love to see, my preference would be like, one day that we see a TV show version, which my pitch on it is like Sex Education, if you ever watched that on Netflix, which was a big style comp for Coming Out, the short, meets like an Insecure, if you ever watched that, which was on HBO. Young kids dating, trying to figure it out. Who hasn't figured it out? I still don't, but certainly you don't at that age. And both the humor and the heart, and keeping that, and being able to go further with that. But
in the wonderful, most awkward way possible, because it's a great, it's the way you deliver it was just brilliant. Like, it was really fun to watch. And as I said last night, I said, I'm not done with the characters yet. I want to know that poor guy in the store. I want to know what's going on with him. Like, he's feeling a lot of different things, you know. So I mean, I think that's the beauty. But you really gave us characters that I wanted to see more of as well. And I think that's well done to you for creating such a great story and have characters that were like, no, we want to see more. So that's exciting. No, really. And just lastly, you know, when you know, it's obviously this business is crazy, and filmmaking is a lot of work and everything else. Like, you know, a lot of people, if people want to follow in your footsteps that are watching, like, any advice or things that you go by to sort of support you in your filmmaking journey? Like, what things have you learned thus far?
Yeah, I will say that filmmaking is hard. I think you said last night, which is the truth, it's not brain surgery. Yeah. It's not brain surgery, so do remember that, but it is very mentally taxing. I think that unfortunately there can be this sort of, I don't know what it is. I think it's just because it's so hard and people are constantly told no, and people's dreams sort of float by the wayside, that when someone sees you trying to do something, people try and temper your expectations, or they're inclined to say no, or something's not going to happen, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. It's very easy for people to tell you no. It's very easy for people to try and convince you that what you're trying to do is impossible. And it's not impossible, because people have done it, but you certainly won't do it if you don't try. So I try to keep not the no people, but the yes people around me. I try to find people that are both like at the same level that I am at, like just starting out and like really hungry, and they want to work super hard. But I also have a few people that have worked with me now on all 3 shorts, some on 2 shorts, that know just a little bit more than I do, so that when I feel stuck, I have someone to turn to for advice, but that they are not no people. They're also yes people. How do we figure it out people? And that's so important, because it's so mentally taxing. Even when you are having fun, like I said, I made a short that was about mental health. I've made a short now that was about an awkward dating story. Like, you're putting yourself out there, whether you wrote it or not, there's a piece of you in what you made. And so you feel very vulnerable, you feel emotional, and you feel sometimes silly going after a dream that seems unattainable, but it is attainable. You just have to work hard, and you have to make sure you surround yourself with the right people. So that's, like, to me, been the most important thing, is mentally, like, how do you protect yourself and how do you protect your dreams? Because people are trying to cut them down, and you can't let them.
Oh, Jasmine, that was amazing advice. My goodness me. Thank you so much. Honestly, that was really such a really wonderful, full-rounded idea. Like, everyone now should feel like they should go and get it. Go and get it, honestly. Seriously. But Jasmine, please keep bringing more stories to us, because I just love the style, and I can't wait for whichever direction, whether it be horror or comedy, wherever we go. But thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming out and being here as well. So thank you. Appreciate you, Jasmine, everybody.